What's up, knowledge seekers? Great to have you back on our channel. In today's video, we're unraveling the mystery of learning styles. Have you ever noticed how your friend aces a test after watching a video, while you prefer to listen to a podcast, and your sibling needs to physically experiment to understand? These differences are exactly what we're digging into today. The VARK model or the VARK model. Get ready to discover the various ways our brains absorb information. Learning is a unique journey for each of us, and understanding your preferred learning style can be a game changer. We'll be covering 4 main learning styles from the VARK model. These are visual, auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic. And now, let's break them down. First up, we have visual learners. These folks learn best by seeing. Visual learners typically love diagrams, charts, and graphs, prefer watching demonstrations, often use highlighters while studying, and create mind maps to organize information. For example, meet Sarah, a high school student struggling with chemistry. Her grades improved dramatically when her teacher started using molecular models and colorful diagrams to explain chemical bonds. Sarah found that creating her own color-coded mind maps helped her remember complex reactions much more easily. If you're a visual learner, try using color coding in your notes or watching educational videos to boost your learning. Next, we have auditory learners. These are the people who learn best by hearing. Auditory learners often enjoy lectures and discussions, benefit from reading aloud, like explaining concepts to others, and may struggle with written instructions. Here is a case study. John, a college student, always found it challenging to study from textbooks alone. He discovered that recording himself, reading his notes and listening to them while commuting improved his retention significantly. John also joined a study group where concepts were discussed out loud, which helped him grasp difficult topics more easily. If you're an auditory learner, try recording lectures, participating in group discussions, or using mnemonic devices to remember information. The third style is read or write learning. These learners prefer the written word. Read or write learners typically love making lists, enjoy reading textbooks, take detailed notes, and prefer written instructions over verbal ones. For example, Emma, a law student, excels in her studies by creating detailed outlines of her textbook chapters. She finds that rewriting key points in her own words helps her internalize the information. Emma also keeps a journal where she reflects on her daily learning, which has significantly improved her understanding and retention of complex legal concepts. If this sounds like you, try summarizing key points in your own words, or creating flashcards to reinforce your learning. Last but not least, we have kinesthetic learners. These are the hands-on learning by doing folks. Kinesthetic learners often prefer practical hands-on activities, enjoy role-playing exercises, may struggle sitting still for long periods, and learn best through trials and errors. Let's see his case study. Alex, an aspiring chef, struggled with traditional cookbook learning. However, when he enrolled in a culinary program that emphasized hands-on cooking, his skills improved dramatically. Alex found that physically preparing dishes, experimenting with ingredients, and even making mistakes helped him understand cooking techniques far better than reading recipes ever did. If you're a kinesthetic learner, try incorporating movement into your study sessions or using physical objects to represent concepts. Now here's something crucial to remember. While we've discussed these styles separately, most people actually use a combination of learning styles. Let's look at some examples of how mixed learning styles work in real life. We'd meet Claudia, a marketing professional. She loves attending seminars, auditory, but always makes sure to sit where she can clearly see the presenter's slides. Visual. When studying new marketing trends, she watches video tutorials with detailed explanations and colourful infographics. Tom is a history teacher who combines his love for reading with hands-on activities. He not only reads extensively about historical events, but also organises reenactments with his students. This approach helps him internalise information through reading and physical experience. Davina, A medical student records lectures, auditory, and listens to them while practicing surgical techniques on models, kinesthetic. She finds that hearing the information while physically going through the motions significantly improves her understanding and retention. Jack, an engineering student, combines multiple styles in his learning process. He starts by reading textbooks and taking detailed notes, read, write, then creates visual diagrams of complex systems, visual, and finally builds small-scale models to test his understanding, kinesthetic. These examples show that embracing multiple learning styles can lead to a more comprehensive and effective learning experience. The key is to identify which combinations work best for you and to adapt your study methods accordingly. And now, let's have a comprehensive look at its history and applications of the model. The VARK model was developed by Neil Fleming, a New Zealand educator. Here's a brief timeline of its development. 1. Origins, 1987. Fleming, while working at Lincoln University in New Zealand, began to question why some students excelled in certain teaching environments while others struggled. 2. Initial development. Fleming collaborated with Colleen Mills to create a questionnaire that would help identify people's preferences for taking in and giving out information. 3rd. First publication, 1992. The first version of the VARK questionnaire was published. 4th. Refinement and expansion. Over the years, Fleming continued to refine the model and questionnaire based on feedback and research. 5. Widespread adoption. By the early 2000s, the VARK model had gained popularity in educational settings worldwide. And 6th. Online presence. In 2001, the VARK questionnaire was made available online, significantly increasing its accessibility and use. Key points about the VARK model. 1. It was not intended to be a learning style theory, but rather a preference indicator. 2. Fleming emphasised that learners are not restricted to one mode and can use all modes, but may have stronger preferences. 3. The model has been both praised for its simplicity and practical applicability, and criticised for lack of rigorous scientific validation. 4. Despite criticisms, it remains a popular tool in education and corporate training for discussing learning preferences. It's important to note that while the VARK model is widely used, the broader concept of fixed learning styles has been challenged by recent research. Many experts now suggest that learning strategies should be varied and adapted to the content being learned, rather than to a presumed style. Here are some criticisms and debates. Firstly, scientific validity. Some researchers argue that the VARK model lacks rigorous scientific validation. Questions about the reliability and consistency of the questionnaire results. Secondly, oversimplification. Concerns that categorising learners may lead to stereotyping or limiting learning experiences. Debate over whether learning styles exist as fixed traits. And finally, misuse. Fleming cautioned against using VARK as a diagnostic tool or to label learners. Some educators may have applied the model too rigidly, contrary to Fleming's intentions. Under the circumstances, recent perspectives would be following aspects. Firstly, shift in understanding. Current research emphasises the importance of using varied learning strategies, regardless of preferences. Focus on learning strategies, rather than fixed learning styles. Secondly, continued use. Despite criticisms, VARK remains popular as a starting point for discussions about learning diversity. Many find it valuable for self-reflection and as a tool to explore different learning approaches. And Fleming's later views. In his later work, Fleming emphasised that VARK preferences are not fixed and can change over time. He encouraged using VARK as a catalyst for trying new learning strategies, not as a restrictive label. The VARK model, while not without controversy, has made a significant impact on educational practices and personal development strategies worldwide. Its simplicity and practical approach have made it an enduring part of conversations about learning and teaching methods. So, understanding your preferred learning style, or combination of styles, can help you tailor your learning strategies for maximum effectiveness. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to learning. The best strategy is to experiment with different methods and find what works best for you. Which learning style or combination of styles resonates most with you? Have you had experiences similar to Claudia, Tom, Davina, or Jack? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content aimed at English learners. Thanks for watching and keep on learning.